past. Wipe the ashes from your hands, because the man you were yesterday is the greatest threat to the man you could become tomorrow. You don't rebuild your life with wishful thinking. You rebuild it like a ruthless strategist, calculating, detached, relentless, not emotional, not fragile, not idealistic, strategic. This is not about finding yourself. That phrase is for the lost. This is about constructing yourself stone by stone, like Machiavelli building a power base in a hostile world. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince for cowards. He wrote it for men who understood that the world is a chessboard, and the only thing worse than being a pawn is thinking you're a king when you're not. Here's the reality. Life doesn't hand you a throne. It gives you a battlefield. And if you want to rule, if you want command over your mind, your mission, and your future, you need strategy. Not feelings, not luck, strategy. Niccolo Machiavelli wasn't just a political philosopher. He was a surgeon of human behavior. He saw the game for what it is: brutal, cold, indifferent, and most importantly, winnable, if you play it right. And, what's his central truth? It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Why? Because love is fickle. Fear is reliable. People will betray love out of comfort, but they won't test fear unless they're desperate. Now, apply that to yourself. If you're trying to rebuild your life, you're in enemy territory. Your old habits, your past, your distractions, your failures, they're not neutral. They are insurgents. They will ambush you the moment you drop your guard. So ask yourself, are you rebuilding like a strategist or renovating like a sentimental fool? Do you cut out weakness with surgical precision? Or do you keep it around because it feels like home? Machiavelli didn't wait for opportunity. He manipulated it. He created the conditions for power. That's what you need to do. No begging, no daydreaming, no praying for a break. You build your break. You want respect? You don't chase it. You don't beg for it. You command it. Comment this now. I don't chase respect. I command it. And if this is already hitting hard, if something deep in your gut is waking up, hit that like button and subscribe, because what's coming next is where we go surgical. I'm going to break down Machiavellian principles that you can embed into your day-to-day. You will become the architect of your riser, the slave to your fallback, your choice. Next, we go into the battlefield. Step 1 of the strategist's rebuild. But first, comment below. What part of your life needs a ruthless rebuild right now? Is it your discipline? Your relationships? Your purpose? Drop it in the comments. I want to know who's ready for war. Step 1. Ruthless clarity. You cannot rebuild a kingdom if you don't even know the shape of the land. Before Machiavelli advised princes, he studied them. He mapped their decisions, their failures, their tactics. He understood something most men never grasp. Self-deception is the first enemy. If you can't see your weaknesses with clarity, you will protect them. You will feed them. You will let them live in the shadows of your excuses. So step 1 is this. No more lies. No more, I'm doing my best. No more, it's not that bad. No more, I'll fix it soon. A strategist doesn't operate in fantasy. He operates in reality. Raw, harsh, undeniable. Want to know why most men stay mediocre? Because they're afraid of the mirror. They fear what it will show. Machiavelli said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Let me flip that for your life. The first method for estimating the strength of a man is to look at the habits he keeps around him. Are your daily actions strengthening your position or weakening it? You can't be strategic while you're still addicted to comfort. You can't evolve while clinging to people who drain you. You can't climb while carrying emotional baggage like a fool guarding trash. Clarity means auditing your reality, ruthlessly. What are you doing daily that makes you stronger? Who around you challenges you to level up? What beliefs do you still carry that belong to a weaker version of you? This isn't self-help fluff. This is war planning. Machiavelli wasn't interested in how people felt. He cared about what worked. That's the mindset you need. What works? What builds power? What moves the needle? Start with a personal audit. Every area. Finances? Audit them. Know your numbers. Are you operating like a king or a beggar? Discipline? Track it. Are you consistent or convenient? Mental state? Are you calm under pressure? Or do you fold like a paper soldier the moment things get hard? Your clarity is your compass. Without it, you drift. With it, you conquer. Comment this now. My clarity is brutal because my future demands it. Here's the next move. Cut. Once you see what's weak, you don't negotiate. You don't manage. You remove. Like Machiavelli said, he who seeks to deceive will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived. But not you. Not anymore. If this part of the message cut through your illusions, if it forced you to see something in yourself you've been avoiding, like the video and hit that subscribe button now. We're just getting started, and the next phase will show you how to build leverage like a king in exile. Step 2. Strategic control. You've cleared the fog. Now you seize the throne. But understand, this power without control is nothing but chaos wrapped in delusion. Machiavelli wrote for those who knew how to hold the reins of their domain. He knew that once you gain ground, you don't celebrate, you fortify. Control doesn't come from shouting orders. It comes from discipline, boundaries, and leverage. Let me be blunt. If you don't control yourself, someone else will. That's the first law of power. The world is full of people bosses, algorithms, friends, even lovers ready to script your day, steer your thoughts, drain your time. If you're not the one controlling your schedule, your focus, your emotions, you're already conquered. Machiavelli understood the nature of control. He advised rulers to never let their states become reliant on external forces. Why? Because dependency is the soft noose around the neck of the unaware. The wise man does it once, what the fool does finally. That's not just about timing. It's about agency. The wise man acts. He doesn't react. He decides. He doesn't drift. That's what control looks like. So ask yourself, are your mornings designed or dictated? Are your goals sharp or vague fantasies? Are your actions aligned with your strategy or fueled by mood and impulse? Control means you build systems. You don't just try to be better. You put rules in place. You track. You correct. You adapt. Because you're not living emotionally anymore. You're playing a game. And in this game, control equals freedom. Let's talk emotional control too. Because most men are ruled by how they feel. If it's a bad day, they self-destruct. If it's a good day, they slack. That's peasant behavior. Machiavellian strategy requires you to detach from emotion and attach to outcome. When you operate on strategy, your emotions become tools, not masters. Anger, use it to drive execution. Fear, use it to analyze risk. Sadness, use it to gain clarity. But none of them are in charge. You are. You are the governor of your internal state. You do not move unless it benefits the mission. Comment this now. I govern my emotions. They don't govern me. And here's the real kicker: control extends to who gets access to you. Machiavelli warned that rulers must appear accessible, but remain insulated. You must protect your mental capital. Your energy is a currency. Stop letting unworthy distractions spend it. Don't argue with fools. Don't explain your strategy to doubters. Don't overexpose yourself. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Mystery is a weapon. You don't owe anyone an explanation for building something bigger than their comprehension. So if this section struck you, if you feel that fire building in your chest because you know you've been giving away control for too long, click that like, hit that subscribe, and buckle in. Because what's coming next is step 3, and it's all about calculated ruthlessness. This is where you stop apologizing and start eliminating. Next. Step 3. Ruthless elimination. Because strategy without execution is just philosophy. Step 3. Ruthless elimination. This is where most people flinch. They want transformation without sacrifice, power without bloodshed, growth without discomfort. But here's the truth: you cannot ascend while clinging to what anchors you. Machiavelli understood this with cold clarity. When a prince takes power, he must immediately eliminate threats to his rule, not negotiate, not delay, eliminate. A wise prince should adopt such a course that his citizens will always be dependent on him and his authority. Dependence, loyalty, order. That's what you're building in your own life. But that means anything that weakens your base habits, people. Distractions must be destroyed without hesitation. That doesn't mean chaos. It means surgical precision. It means you look at your life like a general inspecting a battlefield. Ask yourself, what habits are making me weaker? What routines are wasting my time? Who around me drains more than they give? And then act. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. You think kings kept traitors in the castle? You think Machiavelli advised rulers to tolerate duplicity? No, he told them to be feared, because fear creates order. Let me translate that for you. You need to become the version of yourself that your old self fears. Why? Because your old self was weak, comfortable, indecisive, and that version must be eliminated like a rival king plotting behind your back. That means no more tolerating bad habits because you're tired. No more keeping people in your circle just because of history. No more environments that sap your momentum because it's easier. Burn the old, clear the space. And here's the hardest part. Sometimes what needs to be eliminated is a part of your identity. The victim mindset, the need for validation, the addiction to being liked. You're not here to be liked, you're here to be effective. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. You must be both. Smart enough to detect what's holding you back, strong enough to remove it without hesitation. Comment this now. I eliminate what weakens me, without mercy. Because that's how a strategist thinks. He doesn't cling, he adapts, he cuts losses, he strengthens what remains. This phase of the rebuild isn't glamorous. It's brutal. It's personal. It's lonely. But it's vital, because once you've removed the rot, what remains is pure steel. Let's get tactical. Start by writing down the top 5 habits that waste your time. Cut them. Track them. Identify 3 people in your life who constantly pull you down or dilute your vision. Limit access immediately. Audit your digital environment, your apps, your feeds, your inputs. If it doesn't serve the mission, delete it. This is not minimalism. This is military strategy. You are clearing the terrain to build your fortress. And if this message is cutting through the noise, if this part hurt but also felt right like this video, subscribe and prepare for what's next. Next. Step 4. Systemic domination. Because survival isn't the goal, domination is. Step 4. Systemic domination. You've removed the weaknesses. You've taken back control. Now it's time to build a machine so ruthless, so efficient, that it doesn't just help you survive, it makes you impossible to ignore. Because domination isn't about brute force, it's about systems, structure, precision. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He knew a prince who relied on charisma alone would eventually fall. But a ruler with systems, he becomes untouchable, predictable, relentless, inevitable. He who builds on the people builds on mud. So build on structure, not feelings, not people, not moods, systems. Let's talk dominance in your own life. Not just winning today, but crushing every week with calculated momentum. It starts with rituals. Morning, evening, work, everything runs on rails. You don't wake up and see how you feel. You execute. You think power is a burst of motivation? No. It's your calendar, your checklist, your routines. Because your system doesn't care if you're tired. It moves anyway. You need a daily execution system, clear objectives, time blocks, no fluff. A weekly review ritual. You audit, you adjust, you optimize. A feedback loop. You track data. You measure effort. You refine over and over. That's systemic domination. The game stops being about willpower and starts becoming about momentum you design. Comment this now. My system doesn't negotiate. It dominates. Let me break it down. Your health system should be automatic. Diet, sleep, training non-negotiable. Energy is the engine of domination. Your money system should be tracked, forecasted, invested. Every dollar you don't control, someone else will use to control you. Your social system should elevate you. Contacts, allies, mentors, no randoms, no leeches. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being deliberate. You're not trying to balance life, you're engineering an empire. Machiavelli warned princes not to rely on chance, he said. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. You need to be adaptable, but inside a system. Your systems must flex with reality, not shatter under pressure. Here's a truth most never understand. The most dangerous man in the room isn't the loudest. He's the most systemized. Because while others burn out, he scales. While others panic, he adjusts. While others fall, he builds. Again and again. And one more thing, document everything. Treat your life like a military campaign. Track your moves, record your wins, study your losses. Systemic domination means you become your own intelligence agency. If this idea of turning your life into a machine of progress lit something inside you, like this video and subscribe now. Because we've got one final move to make. Step 5. Command presence. You've rebuilt. You've cut the rot. You've structured your war machine. Now it's time to emerge, not quietly, not humbly, but with presence. Command presence isn't about yelling or flexing. It's about energy, precision, purpose. It's when you walk into a room and people feel your discipline before you speak a word. Machiavelli knew this well. He advised rulers to control appearances, to craft perception without revealing weakness. Why? Because humans don't follow the meek. They follow those who radiate inevitability. Everyone sees what you appear to be. few experience what you really are. That's the game. Appear powerful. Be even more powerful in silence. So how do you build that aura? Through internal certainty and external refinement. Let's break that down. Internal certainty means your mission is clear. You are not chasing validation. You know why you wake up. You know where you're going. That clarity radiates. People feel it. They can't explain it, but they respect it. External refinement means your posture, your words, your movements, they're deliberate, clean, controlled, no nervous fidgeting, no weak tones, no lazy appearances. You don't need to be flashy, but you must be sharp. Think of a sword silent still, until it's used. That's presence. Comment this now. I don't demand attention, I command presence. Here's the truth. Command presence makes negotiation easier. It earns respect without begging. It protects your time without drama. And it broadcasts a single, undeniable message. I am not to be played with. Let's get tactical. Eye contact. Steady, calm, confident. Voice. Controlled, slow, deliberate. No fillers, no apologies. Movement. Efficient. Stillness is power. Fidgeting is weakness. Appearance. Sharp, tailored. No sloppy details. You're a walking brand of excellence. This is where your internal transformation becomes external signal. The world responds to energy. If your presence says leader, people follow even if they don't know why. Machiavelli didn't want rulers to be loved. He wanted them respected. And nothing earns respect like a man who moves like he belongs at the top. Now, take a moment and look back. You've learned how to cut the lies, control the battlefield, eliminate the noise, build the machine. And now, walk with the presence of a man who's done the work. Not all will understand you. Let them talk. Not all will support you. Let them fall away. The strategist doesn't need applause. He needs results. And here's your final command. Never rebuild just to feel better. Rebuild to become untouchable. Comment below. Which of these 5 steps hit you the hardest? Which one are you applying this week? I want to see warriors in the comments. And if this entire message, every part, ignited something inside you, don't let it end here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning. More fire is coming, more philosophy, more strategy, more tools to sharpen your edge. Stay ruthless, stay strategic, and remember, your enemies are hoping you stay soft. Your future self is begging you to rise. Choose wisely. Until next time.